The gentlelady from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Secretary, for joining us. Finally, you are in charge of protecting the homeland, and so your judgment and the judgment of your senior staff can be the difference between life and death. So I think that judgment would need to be unassailable. Why then, is the question, have you made Corey Lewandowski your de facto chief of staff who possesses an unchecked level of power at DHS?
This hearing begins calmly, but the first question already signals trouble. A congresswoman immediately challenges the leadership of the Department of Homeland Security, questioning whether someone outside the official chain of command is actually influencing major decisions inside the agency. The name at the center of the controversy is Corey Lewandowski, a political figure with deep ties to the Trump world. And the accusation being raised is that he may be acting like a powerful insider at DHS without the title or confirmation required for such authority. But the questioning is just getting started.
Under your leadership, this person has done things like fire your FEMA administrator while sitting behind your desk, which is your job to do, lobby to build the controversial detention facility known as Alligator Alcatraz, which has turned into a legal boondoggle costing Florida millions, and have veto and reviewing and signing power over large DHS contracts and grants, which again is your job. DHS has critical agency components like the Secret Service, FEMA, Border Patrol, cybersecurity. So does Corey Lewandowski have national security experience, military experience, law enforcement experience? No. He is a lobbyist, a failed campaign manager, which is causing my constituents who are waiting for their FEMA dollars and me to wonder what are his qualifications for this job.
Now the tone becomes sharper. The lawmaker begins listing specific examples that suggest Lewandowski may have been involved in personnel decisions, policy discussions, and even contract oversight. Those are major responsibilities normally handled only by confirmed officials inside the department. If someone outside that structure truly had that kind of influence, it would raise serious questions about transparency and accountability. But the most explosive moment of the hearing is still about to come.
Wall Street Journal, you and Mr. L have a close relationship that has made President Trump, quote, uncomfortable. The president reportedly denounced Corey Lewandowski as your chief of staff due to reports of a romantic relationship between the two of you. So instead, you designated him as a special government employee, a position he has had well beyond the allowed 130 days and requires him to disclose if he is making money off of his position. Trump knows that this guy is shady. Corey has a decades-long record of physical battery, sexual harassment, illegal lobbying for a Venezuelan oil company, and bringing a loaded gun into a federal building. Despite being fired or removed from virtually every position he has ever held due to misconduct, he now wields unchecked, unconfirmed, undisclosed power over your department.
That question instantly changes the atmosphere in the room. The hearing moves from policy oversight to a deeply personal allegation that catches everyone's attention. The secretary immediately pushes back, calling the accusations shocking and dismissing them as tabloid gossip. But the lawmaker pressing the issue insists this is not about gossip at all. She argues the real concern is whether personal relationships could influence national security decisions.
So, Secretary Noem, at any time during your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security, have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
Reclaiming
and
my
ma'am,
time.
one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
So reclaiming
and
my
is
time,
an advisor
Secretary, it is
and has
okay for
no,
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be
question.
making any
It is
decisions.
okay for you to
has
be
no
offended
authority
by the
to
question.
Be making
But it is
decisions
also
and
a
putting
real
up your
question.
position. So what I would say
And
to
you should be able to
is
answer
that
the
what we do
question
at the Department of Homeland
clearly
Security every single
and without
day,
any hesitation.
every single day is to protect
if
this
someone
country
is
and
asking
to make
if
decisions.
you or any federal official is sleeping with their subordinate, that should be the easiest. You should be wanting to answer that question.
garbage?
Because it is not about
It is
your sex
offensive
life.
that you have brought
It is
that up.
about your
No,
judgment.
that kind of garbage
It is
has been
about
refuted
reclaiming
for
my
years,
time so
and
that
you
I
need
can
to
hear myself.
recognize-
Mr. Chair.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from California, but it'd be nice if you would let her respond.
I will. I want to let you know it is about your judgment and decision-making. It is about the 260,000 employees that work under you that want to make sure that you are giving information and making decisions clearly. It is about conflict of interest. It is about a national security risk. Department of Homeland Security was created right after 9/11 to protect the homeland. And DHS has circulated an internal bulletin to law enforcement partners warning that the conflict of the war we're in could inspire lone actors or small-scale cyber activity inside the United States, according to a memo obtained by ABC News. So American lives are at risk. The people who work for you are at risk. And they want to know that the person at the top, you, are making decisions clearly, without any sort of cloudiness, and that they're your decisions because you're the secretary who was confirmed. That's what this is about. Saving the lives of Americans and not costing them millions of dollars, and not having a secretary who's compromised in her decision-making. And Mr. Chair, before I yield my time, I would like to enter into the record some articles, and I'm asking for unanimous consent. Noem tightens her grip on DHS. Lewandowski fired FEMA admin.
Without
while sitting-
objection.
Okay. The next one is Kristi Noem secretly took a cut of political donations from ProPublica.
Without objection.
Kristi Noem fires pilot over a blanket, but is forced to reinstate him to fly home. Wall Street Journal.
Without objection.
Lewandowski taking out trash at Noem's D.C. home. Daily Beast.
Without objection.
Barbie's Mile High privacy chamber with alleged lover exposed. Wall Street Journal, how Corey Lewandowski became Kristi Noem's gatekeeper at DHS.
Without objection.
A pilot fired over Kristi Noem's missing blanket and the constant chaos inside DHS.
Without
Wall
objection.
Street Journal. Police charged Trump campaign manager with assault. PBS News.
Without objection.
Woman who accused Corey Lewandowski of assault speaks out. I don't want this to happen to anyone else. CBS News. Lewandowski's firm quietly inked deal with Venezuela-owned company Politico.
Without objection.
List of U.S. cities raising security amid Iran conflict. Newsweek.
Without objection.
Kristi Noem, I have a few more, I'm sorry. Kristi Noem misled Congress yesterday about top aides' role in DHS contracts.
Without objection.
Policy number 10271 from ICE, it is an anti-fraternization policy prohibiting romantic or sexual relationships between supervisors and their subordinates. And with that, I yield.
Without objection. Gentleman from Texas recognized for 5 minutes.
This exchange quickly became one of the most intense moments of the hearing. The core argument raised by the Congresswoman was about accountability. The Department of Homeland Security is responsible for protecting the United States from a wide range of threats: terrorism, cyber attacks, natural disasters, and border security challenges. Because of that mission, leadership decisions inside DHS carry enormous weight. When lawmakers suspect that someone outside the official chain of command may be influencing those decisions, they push for answers. During the hearing, the Congresswoman argued that Corey Lewandowski appeared to hold unusual influence inside the department. She referenced news reports suggesting he had participated in internal discussions and had close access to the secretary. Supporters of the secretary, however, argued that the questioning went too far, particularly when it moved into personal allegations. They say congressional hearings should focus on policy and national security operations, not rumors or speculation. Still, ethics concerns in government are taken very seriously. Federal agencies operate under strict rules designed to prevent conflicts of interest. Those rules exist because even the appearance of favoritism or undisclosed influence can damage trust in public institutions. That is why lawmakers sometimes ask difficult and uncomfortable questions during oversight hearings. They want to ensure that government decisions are being made transparently and in the best interest of the public. In this case, The hearing also included the introduction of multiple news articles into the official congressional record. Lawmakers often do this to document claims or concerns raised during questioning. Some of those submissions were accepted without objection, while others were challenged by members of the committee. That kind of procedural back and forth is common in congressional hearings, where both parties try to control the narrative surrounding controversial topics. The debate we saw here also highlights a broader reality of Washington politics. Oversight hearings are not only about gathering information, they are also political arenas where lawmakers attempt to hold officials accountable while defending their own positions. Sometimes the result is a calm exchange of facts and policy details. Other times, as we saw in this hearing, the conversation becomes far more dramatic. Whether this moment leads to further investigations or simply remains a heated exchange on the record will depend on what lawmakers decide to pursue next. But one thing is certain: when questions about leadership, influence, and national security collide inside a congressional hearing room, the debate rarely ends when the gavel comes down.